What makes me scared?
I guess when it comes down to, I'm afraid of the unknown.
Spiders, yeah. Mainly because of the fact they're so tiny and insignificant that you can just walk upon them and they can mess you up, really.
Fear is a natural part of life, and we all experience it at one point in time. But what makes us afraid? Personal experiences? Stories? The media? Or simply the unknown? Fear can be used in many ways, as a political tool, a survival mechanism, or simply to entertain. We interviewed a psychology student, a man who suffers from fear and anxiety, and 2 kids to get their opinion on fear.
So I think as humans, we always want to know everything about the world and the natural world. I guess I'm scared of the things I don't know, the things no one really knows. Things like ghosts, the supernatural. Also, I guess like the things everyone's scared of, like spiders, snakes, anything that's dangerous to us. I mean, when you're a kid, you're scared of the dark. When you grow older, you get scared of things that you hear about. We get a lot of our information from movies, TV, what to be afraid of. And there's practical things like car crash, plane crash, anything where our lives are in danger, I guess.
I fear the dark and sometimes heights, and I'm also scared of being alone in the dark because it's because I've seen lots of scary movies.
We're afraid of the dark because it's the absence of all light, so it's the absence of all, visceral seeing, so you kind of have to fill in the gaps yourself. Yeah, as a kid you take in these movies and social media you see, and then you kind of accentuate these things, and just the imagination it really plays off of these things that you've seen. Like, it's not specifically it itself, it's kind of something that you cannot really comprehend.
Kids have crazy imaginations because we don't really know a lot about the world when we're a kid. So we might fill in the gaps with all of these imaginations that we hear about on TV or read in books and stuff. Like, a lot of our media is geared towards the imagination and to kind of encourage that in kids because it's such a valuable thing. But also kids can just go such places with their mind, and they might think under the bed there's a monster because they can't see under the bed, so they just assume that, fill in the gaps with their imagination.
Imagination and the media play a big role on people's fears today. People are afraid of things that they've seen on TV or heard on the news. A large amount of these fears are irrational, but some remain highly agile fears, such as terrorism or murderers, or even being involved in a plane crash.
Well, I always hear these freaky noises outside, but I can't explain it.
My fear is when I'm usually sleeping, I normally hear stuff outside and I get scared, but I think there's actually something out there, like people.
That if you're walking into the unknown, that it's just anything can happen. Imagination, just having a huge imagination at that age. So yeah, it just kind of accentuates these fears as such that you get scared, especially when you lack of nothing, you have to make up or fill in for the gaps, I guess.
We were left with one final question. What is fear?
It can be an instinctual thing. It can be something that's ingrained in the brain or the way someone's wired just naturally, or it can be through experience as well. I mean, if you have a traumatic experience with something, it's going to haunt you, I guess. And there are ways you can work through that. But if the person's putting up barriers or there's barriers in place, then they're not going to be able to do that logically and rationally without some guidance sometimes. And I guess that's what I want to do when I get into counseling, is to help people see the truth in their matters and to take away fear, because it can just destroy you and ruin your life. So, but it's such a natural thing as well. Like, it's a natural part of being human, and I guess you need to embrace fear as well, not be scared of it.